Welcome, all of you. Everybody, welcome. I have a lot to do today to tell you. Shall I begin? Okay. I am not able to paint today, but boy, am I able to talk and show you things. Here's what happened. I scraped my hand on a door, but enough so that it started to bleed, and they took me to the hospital, and they said the skin is what's bleeding, and I cannot paint today. Mainly because the oils and stuff are dangerous. But that doesn't stop me from talking. Okay? So let us begin. I'm going to begin again with explaining the difference in this painting from any of the others. And as I say before, I don't know if certain things I'm repeating. Live with it.
That's what I say.
Okay? Because that's what life is. You know, everybody and everything in our lives is made of so many ingredients. And until I discovered to hear about my favorite topic, which is the James Webb the Solar Telescope, I realized that everything is made up of so many segments, of so many totally different things. And everybody I have painted, the longer I got to know them, the more complicated and fascinating they became. And so, from now on, for a while, definitely tonight, and I want to speak about attitude. I think what shapes us more than anything else in who we become is our attitude towards things. I was thinking, when I was a little girl, my parents always said, "Don't do that or you'll fall." And so falling became the result of everything. Don't fall. And now I've been thinking about that kind of an attitude. When Joe Louis, that incredible boxer, went into the ring, he went in order to be hit and punched and perhaps lose an eye and perhaps have a concussion. But he went in. And he didn't have those things happen. Instead, he became world famous. Maybe if I stopped thinking of everything as being important, I would take more risks. So I'm beginning that risk now. I'm going to begin to speak of everybody in the way I saw them and to speak of the way I met them. Okay? What I would like to do now, I took a risk in doing something I knew would be very complicated and that I could fail. So, could you point to this group over here?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be explaining them to you. Jennifer Cruz works at Magnolia, which is where I took my exercise classes, and where Jesse went to kindergarten when he was little, and where so many of my friends come from, the senior citizens of Magnolia. Jennifer has two incredibly beautiful children. And this is her husband. And the face of these children is smaller than my nail. And there's so much hair. And she brought them to me already. I've seen them. And all you want to do is be grateful that they exist. Because they're among the lucky people in the world who are deeply loved. Their parents love them deeply. You're going to watch this growing. Jennifer has beautiful skin, and there's a pinkish glow right here on the bottom because the cheekbones are high and they glow. And then there are the shadows going to make them beautiful. That takes layers and layers and layers. I cannot show you that because I hurt my hand and I was told, at least for another week, don't paint. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to learn how to use my left hand also, because I could begin to paint the sky. That doesn't need details.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah. And I want to talk about painting because there was such enthusiasm in all of you when I painted last time, and I will be painting again. But I want to begin to explain it doesn't matter how beautiful it is unless it feels exactly like that person. So with them, first I had to isolate them. They're not finished yet. He doesn't have the skin tones yet. She just has a bit of pink here. I have to go over to the flesh tones. And I can't wait, but now I have to wait. Okay? So that's about them. Now, let me come here. All of you.
Here, we're showing here again.
Yeah, right over here. This, I sort of think, they're also completely unfinished.
Mm-hmm. The guy with the tie.
Okay. Shall I go back to them?
Yep, keep talking.
Okay, you know who that is, don't you?
I don't remember.
That's Ellen, his wife,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
You'll know his name. All you have to do is wait until it's finished. Okay? That's their son. And I went to the institution where he lives.
Is that Harvey?
Harvey Wiesenberg, right?
That's what I thought.
Right.
Okay.
I sort of think of them as representing all of Long Beach. Because when Eric said to me, let's do a painting of Long Beach, that was 3 paintings ago. I think this is the 4th of Long Beach. And he said, in my mind, it's for first family. But also, Eric said, my mother was a nurse. These people are healers. Let's do something. Go to Harvey and show him your drawings and ask him how we could show them in order to raise money and awareness of people with disabilities. And we went to Harvey, and he looked at the drawings and he said, these are my people. Can I publish it? And he did. And we have the book. And I'll show it to you when I finish it. First they have to be finished. Now let's go to another group.
Before you go, can I read you some stuff?
I'd love it.
Okay, we left off Shirley. Mary Lou said she'll say, we told you Janine's watching. Marcia says, hi, Hetty. Kent says, hi, Hetty. Marcia says, we're your forever family. Janine says, hi, Hetty. Marcia Bard Isman says, hi from Marcia and Michael. Mary Lou said, oh, about your hurt hand. Janine said, oh, no. Marcia says, oh, my, everybody's concerned. Lauren Raff says, good evening, Hetty. Shirley says, prayers for a speedy recovery. Mary Lou says, you can repeat as much as you want each time, Cousin Hetty, we hear you. We learn a new lesson of love. Martha says, hi, Hetty. Jill Heinzman says, hi, Hetty. Yola says, hello, Hetty. Yola says, miss you. Maria Torelli says, hello, friend. And John says, hi, Hetty. Hugs and healing from California. Okay. Now go
Wonderful. Okay. Now, every one of these people are going to become your friends who are in this painting, because I'm going to tell you why each one means so much to me. And then, if I'm allowed to live for a very long time, I will bring pictures of other paintings and tell you about every person. It's not that I know everybody. It's because they're imprinted in here.
Like a little duck, the first time the duck sees the person and they just follow that person, thinks they're their mommy. They get imprinted. They're
Yes.
stuck in their brain.
Can they hear you when you said that?
I think so.
Say it again.
Did you hear me? Like a little duck.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, so many things are happening now. First, when I first started these large canvases, I met the Adler family, which you know about, and they've been painted. But you never met Yvonne.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pointing to her. I'll move my finger. Can you see her?
She wearing purple?
Yeah.
I love
in
purple.
purple.
I have purple hair.
There you go. There you go. But she's a miracle, like you are, because she watches Facebook. And when I knew I was going to be on Facebook and I was going to speak about the Adlers, I called them and I said, how can I get you to listen to Facebook? And Yvonne said, I can do it. Yvonne helps Elaine, who is now a little bit older than I am. And I need you to know that Elaine was a businesswoman who ran a business of her own. And it's difficult to be old and to have people take care of you. But Yvonne makes it wonderful. So I wanted it. I wanted her in it. And I asked for a photograph. And she sent me a lot, but they were tiny. And I couldn't know her. And then finally, Bill, who is Elaine Adler's son, sent me this photo. And I love it. So there she is. And I put her right next to the founder of Fortune Society. But the reason I put people next to people is not because they belong to each other. It's because I need the color and I need the design. You see, I have to explain something else about this painting. My son Kenny always hounded me, Mom, don't make people stand up straight. People don't. People move. People walk. People do things. And at that time, I was doing the stock exchange. And at that time, everybody who's in the stock exchange painting signed up for a print of it. So they were all paying. There was no way I could take 300-something members of the stock exchange with their faces exactly theirs and their numbers right there and make them not stand up straight. But in this painting, Kenny, I'm doing it for you. There is a rhythm in here. and wait till I get the sky and the buildings, because Karen Adamo from the Historical Society sent me a load of photographs, wonderful ones. As a matter of fact, this is so wonderful.
The really big ones?
Show them all.
Okay, you might have to hold them up and show them.
Oh, yeah. These are the tents. Oops.
Yeah, because I'm too close. Oh, down on the, like on the boardwalk? Uh-huh.
Right.
Right, or like the flea market, or the
Exactly, because
kind of street fair.
my grandchild, Jesse, had said, when I said, what do I do up there? He said, make it be the boardwalk during one of the fairs.
Right.
And look what I have. And you're all going to see these being painted. Even this kind of wonderfulness.
Oh, I love all those colors.
Right.
Cool.
We're going to have a wonderful painting there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see, they did a terrible thing to me. But I'm used to that. And I'll explain in a minute. I'm just about done. But the Historical Society is going to have the first booth that I'm putting up, because
they're the most important.
Yep. And that's it.
Okay, everybody's playing volleyball down on the beach.
Yes.
Nice day. They got a nice day. Alrighty. Okay.
Okay. Now let me go further with this.
Wait, let me go back and do some more stuff. Maria Torelli says, hello, friend. I told you that. Jerry Romer says, hi, Hetty. Julie Williams says, yipes, your hand. Love you, so sorry. Hope it heals quickly. XOXO. Shirley Baker says, yes, meaning I think she could hear me. And Carol says, love hearing about your painting method. It's wonderful. Sorry to see your hand bandaged. Okay. Next.
Okay. Now, this is so important to me. We are not what we look like. We are like the planets. We are made up of so many ingredients. And I realize that what I bring up out of you is personal, because I ask so many questions and there's so much I want to know. So I will never write or say anything about any of you, my models, unless it's okayed. Because we all keep secrets of ourselves, and we don't even know that we believe them.
Of course we believe them. We put them out on Facebook. It's all fake book, all the lies.
We do.
Yes.
Okay, but I went with one of my kids once. This was during the time when I called it the cult of ugliness. It was when hippie clothes were being worn. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of my kids said, Mom, if it bothers you so much, why don't we go for therapy? And I said, yeah, maybe that'll help you. And my child said, no, I needed to help you. And we went, notice I'm not saying which kid or grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
And this wonderful woman named Renee Solomon said, tell your side first. And I told my side. And my child said, that never happened. That's not what happened at all, at all, at all. And Rini said, you see, that's how we hear. We do not hear what the other person means. We interpret the words only the way we understood them. And is that part of being human? That we cannot be wrong?
Oh yeah, perception is reality. Whatever we perceive, we believe.
Say it louder. I want them to hear it.
Perception is reality. What we perceive, we believe.
But why?
It's how we're made up.
Will we ever change? No. I'm trying to change. I'm trying so hard, but it's so difficult. It's like things are cast in stone in my brain.
Okay.
But why? That's why when we see a balloon, we say China is giving war. And if they see us shooting it down, they say they're the killers. Maybe we can never sit down, but let's us in Facebook. Let's us learn whatever we can. Now, I need to speak about a wonderful thing that happened to me. There's a book right there. Could you read it to me? Thank you.
Oh, and while I'm giving you this,
Okay.
one more thing. Kenny, Joni, and Greg, and Ken, and Dennis, and Kimberly all send love from Florida. That's the most recent one, so they know about you.
Okay. Okay. This is one of the important things that happened to me. All things are important, but today, because I'm not painting, I can talk about it. Right over here, there is a garden in Long Beach. This man, Kostas Pataki,
Okay.
right here, grows the most incredible plants in the world. And it's my walking distance in back of my block. Mm-hmm. So I try to go there all the time. I go now anyway, even though it's winter and they're just bare branches. But I know what they're going to become. And in it I met, and here's where my difficult work will begin when I get my fingers back again. Okay, her name is Elena. It's a difficult name, Giorgio, but she wrote this book. Can you see the name?
Elena Giorgio.
Okay. And hear her story. She had lived through a lot of abuse and decided that she wasn't going to take it anymore. And she became brave and powerful. And she decided that she would write a book to teach other people who have been badly hurt not to let it destroy them. And she just gave me this little part to read. The rest you will get from her books. Also, I am an author of 2 books and a third in the publishing process. My book, Live Life to the Fullest, Never Look Back, that is amazing. It's taking part in the first annual International Book Fair. Those are the things that you can read about, but here she is. Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you the difficulty that I'm going to be having with her and every one of the faces, I'm afraid. When I start painting, especially now that I can only do the photographs, I paint it, and then the perspective comes in. In front, the people have big faces, but they get smaller. Mm-hmm. But when I'm in the middle, I don't know if they're going to be fading further back or not. And so I'm going to begin with Elena, who is very beautiful, and has reddish hair on top of it. And I'm going to have to enlarge her face. Because look, you see how small the face is? And her relative, right? Look how big his face is.
Yeah, it is big.
So I will have to trim him down and add to her.
Make me smaller, too.
Yeah. So I need you to know, if you ever decide to do this, don't. Because everything I love, I have to go over. My wonderful friend Eileen, her head is too big at the moment.
Oh, no.
It's even bigger than my Swedish friend. And so bit by bit now, I will have to add and subtract. So when all of you who at the end of this painting are going to say to me, how long did it take? I can only laugh and say, don't ask.
You have 4 minutes left.
I have very little time left. If there are any things you want to say.
One person said something. I want to read it to you. Her name's Holly Feynman Lapinel. It says it's her first time watching you on Facebook, but her family has been in Long Beach for 5 generations, if you include my sister, her daughter, her son. My name is Holly Feynman. My mother's maiden name is Freffield, but I know you for many, many years.
There's somebody who wrote on Messenger to me, and I cannot answer. And she wrote that a long time ago we met and spoke a lot. And I want to answer her, but I can't answer Messenger.
I'll show you.
Really?
Yeah,
It just says chat.
I'll show you.
Dory is a genius.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Watch out, my head's going to get really big over here. Forget about the canvas.
I love her. I love her. And when I have her standing like this, it's because
Power.
she's wonderful. Okay, let me go further. I want to say a little more about Elena. She is the niece of Viola. And all of these people became mine because Costas loves flowers. Everybody here has a reason for being mine. And I miss one thing. This is the manager of my city of Long Beach. And she's leaving.
I'm such a genius.
You are.
Yeah,
you
brain
are.
surgeon.
Do I have time for one more person?
Sure, you got
Oh,
2
okay.
minutes.
This man, can you see
Yes.
it? Okay. His name is Stephen Miller. And in the Museum of the City of New York, he was a curator. And they saw my painting of Yona Schimmel and asked for it. And somebody asked me, at that time, how does it feel to be asked for a painting from a museum? And I said, oh my God, it's like being allowed to sing on Broadway. And I felt that, but I didn't know.
You've arrived.
I've arrived, that's the word. And I received the letter from Stephen Miller saying that he's a curator who took the painting in. And it was so important. He's doing a book and would very much like to write about that experience. And when I see you next week, there he is. And he's going to be holding the book. Because the wonderful thing about that book is it also has red in it.
And you love red.
I love red.
Okay.
And so there's going to be red. It's unfortunately, I don't know how, I don't know how my hands will do all those tiny writings.
It's okay.
I don't know,
You'll
but
figure it out.
I think I could cheat,
There you go, cheater.
right? I could cheat
Sure.
and make the book very, very smooth and write it with a pen.
Maybe. Now it's time to say goodbye.
And maybe in future generations, they'll invent something and it'll happen because Dory, you were the one who gave me the article on the photographs, right?
About?
On how who came out first with doing a
Oh,
photograph.
yeah, Daguerre and the other guy, Denise.
Yeah.
And Denise
I
or
needed to know what human being create that. Don't worry, it's
Oh,
like paper.
something. Okay.
What human being created a machine that pictured a living scene and put it on paper? And because Dory knows everything, she went. I tried to print it and I couldn't because 50,000 pages.
Oh, yeah.
But it made me know that we are gifted, all of us. But I don't know. I don't know how the gifts of understanding technology bypassed me. But I have Dory.
Okay. And now we have to go.
And goodbye, everybody. I love you all.